into executive session,
Yes, sir.
one piece of old business that I might bring up.
Okay.
I'm just wondering what the status of the renovation of MSD
Right,
is.
my apologies, I don't remember that was brought up and I wrote it down, I forgot to bring it up. Can we get a quick status update on the community center?
From the community, yes.
Yeah, and
The contractor will start this Tuesday. We are very close to hiring an architect. We're just waiting for a third bid, which I should get tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's not a lot of money, and most of the architects will be available to start to meet probably next week sometime.
Okay.
And,
Is the architect, my wife is an environmental planner, designer, but when she designed an actual building of any kind, an architect had to approve the plan anywhere in New York State. And so she had friends who would vet her plans and her construction drawings, and they weren't doing any architectural work per se, but they would establish that her plans and designs and drawings were accurate and as they should be, and then they'd put their architect's stamp on it. Now, there happens to be an existing sketch or plan created by someone from the Main Street Theater and Dance. We've seen this. Will the architect that we hire, in effect, be ratifying that design and doing the construction drawings for it or whatever? Or will that architect be expected to start from ground zero and come up with a plan all their own?
They will do whatever we direct. I'm under the impression they're gonna start from scratch. They're gonna meet with
the multiple
the stakeholders and RIOC, and they're gonna come up with schematics. Now, we're not doing construction drawings at this time. We just wanna get schematics to get an idea, do it quick, and so we have an idea, and then
Cost
we'll.
estimate.
So
Then what construction are we starting this week, I'm sorry?
No, the remediation
Remediation.
to take it out and to.
Yeah.
Demolition and fixing all that.
Right.
Right, and this is being done in a careful way so it protects our insurance claim
Right.
interest.
Insurance we got
I see,
approved
Which
for
is
the first one.
one of the reasons why it's been taking so long. And the idea behind getting the architect for schematic design is as long as we're deep into the space, you might as well take the opportunity of creating something which serves groups and in a very flexible way allows for other groups' usage and expansion of space.
Has a policy decision been made as to who will be sharing the space?
We're going to find out from the architect what he thinks the design can be for multiple groups. And can he make it so that the group can share?
Which is the chicken and which is the egg?
Well, as you can see, Howard,
Number
since
of
the last
groups
time,
chosen
excuse me,
to
Matt,
determine how it will be
Excuse me.
done.
Since the last time we had any private discussion on this matter, more members of the public are coming forward and voicing their concerns, and they're very real concerns. And we want to make sure that all the existing stakeholders have some input into what you call schematics, it's called space planning, into the space planning process, because we have some very long-term vested interests going back 25 or 30 years in that space, and we also have we have need for new uses for the space as well.
Which is why we need, in my opinion, we need expert help in developing an appropriate schematic.
I think people need reassurance, though.
Well, we're going
their
to
concerns will be met.
we're going to have groups interviewed so that the architect will understand concerns and space needs, but we're engaging the architect in a creative endeavor so that once these groups have an opportunity for expressing their needs, then we're going to be working on a process that'll probably be iterative, but still driven from a little bit higher concern that we develop a space which has a great deal of utility for a variety of groups, preserving the current usage.
Okay, so from the Real Estate Advisory Committee, can you guys figure out exactly who the stakeholders are and the potential uses for the space? On the operations side, we just have to make sure we get the demolition completed, the remediation done, get the operational components of getting the architect engaged. You guys can, how we're going to do this exercise, and you guys can help tell us, inform us as to what needs to be built based on real estate advisory.
Okay, the stakeholders coming forward at this junction may not be the people who ultimately use the space in several years, the idea is for the architect to have a notion of who some of the stakeholders are who presented themselves, and some idea of the type of flexibility that's necessary in the space while preserving, for instance, a theater.
Okay,
And all the requirements of the
backing,
theater.
because of the time constraints. Real estate advisory, can you guys take back the action as far as what the, your, advice as to what use the space should be? We have a space, right now, operationally, we're demolishing it, remediating problems, getting it ready to make it usable for some purpose. Real estate advisory can tell us what the purpose is gonna be.
Okay.
Okay, so if you guys can let us know, and to the extent that the eventual purpose is gonna drive what we need to do operationally to build something, let us know as quickly as possible.
Sure.
Okay, is that fair?
Yes, and I appreciate the distinctions you're making, I think are very important. I appreciate very much that Howard is here today to be able to discuss these things. I think we need to continue to assure the community that their needs, that their space needs will be met. We have some historical sense of how the space was used, which will carry forward. But right now, the last important thing I heard Howard say was okay and all right, and that should be enough for now.
Okay, so our
Thank you.
contracts are continuing, and we'll know shortly it'll be underway. The various folks will be engaged with advice from real estate advisory.
And there's one last thing on the real estate point, that for the interested people, Howard's approval, we're tentatively scheduled to have a meeting, and that'll be one of the agenda items on February 26th.
Right, Tuesday, February 26th.
Tentatively, we gotta make sure it works out, but that looks like we're gonna do it.
That's up to your committee, sir.
Okay.
I have enough problems.
He said okay again. I like these okays.
Howard, that's the real estate committee
Right.
meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, they advise on the uses and
Yeah.
other disposition of the real estate assets we have.
What time?
5:30,
We don't know yet, haven't scheduled.
but it hasn't been scheduled, so the schedule should go out next week.
Okay, are there